People want to be a ranger, but they don't know what it's going to entail. And they don't know the commitment it's going to involve from you, your family, your kids, everybody. When I hired on with DPS, and I just wanted to be in Highway Patrol. And then I got into Highway Patrol and figured out that there were things called Texas Rangers. And they were always working the better, bigger, more interesting cases. And I just wanted to be a part of the best team, if you will. Were they always working the biggest cases? I guess the reality of it at the time, what I thought coming in, and then the reality is, yes, you're working the biggest cases. The most intense pressure from beginning of the case to the end of the case when it's adjudicated in court. You're never done at the end of the day. You always have things that are holding or pending and things that you need to work on and spend more time and effort in. Some people like us, like the people in the auditorium, and then there's others that just don't. There's other agencies that don't like the Rangers there because we put someone they know, care about, worked with in jail or prison and for breaking the laws. So sometimes they're excited to see you and sometimes they're not. And I think that probably holds true in the public. There's a lot of people in the public that like us and know what we're about and know what we're trying to do, and they were just trying to find the truth of every investigation and not biased in any of our endeavors. Initially, when I hired on in 2002, I went to the cold case squad. So that was a little different than being a quote-unquote field ranger. So every week was a cold case. You got one case and you worked it till you could put it aside for a minute and you started another one. So you basically drove to wherever your case took you, Brownwood, Amarillo, to the Valley, wherever that was. Then in 2007, I transferred to the field and became a field ranger. You're on call 24/7. You're going to this murder or to this scene. You're assisting this ranger or this agency with whatever investigation they've got going on. So those are and every day is something new. And every day you just add to what you did the day before. I've been to most of the active shooter scenes in the state since 2009, from both Fort Hoods to Dallas to Twin Peaks here in Waco to Southern Springs just down from our house, Uvalde, the Austin bombings. I've been to all of those, and all of those take a piece of you with them. The Twilight Rapist case, where all the elderly ladies were sexually assaulted. Some of the cold cases, there's one, Amanda Goodman, a little 13-year-old that was killed in Brownwood. I'd like to see that one solved eventually. I mean, I could do no more with it when I was done. Probably the Twilight Rapist cases, or that investigation for 2 years is probably the biggest. And he's since deceased, the suspect died in prison, so it's all adjudicated, so that's probably the most memorable. So every ranger, including myself, goes through a new ranger school, then a 3-week crime scene school, bloodstain, a 40-hour bloodstain, a 40-hour shooting reconstruction. I've been to additional advanced shooting reconstruction, advanced bloodstain schools, classes. Our Leica 3D scanner training and use, drones, digital forensics and doing digital video, use of force training, all that is, I left out the National Forensic Academy, 10 weeks. Where I went to that school in 2008 and graduated from that and got into certification in crime scene and certified scanner operator. So I mean, those are all additional trainings that help me do my job. So now I'm third in seniority, and I remember when I was the new guy, right? And most of those, I've seen most of those come and go. Ray Ramon in my recruit school, DPS, and then Oscar Rivera in Sinton, who's a sheriff in San Pat County now. I played the biggest roles, and then after I was in the Rangers, John Martin, Cara de los Santos, those continued to play a role in what I wanted to be or who I wanted to be like or better. All those, I mean, I've seen them all. They all take a piece with you, and hopefully you're being able to pass something over to them and help make them better. Time consuming. Drones especially, you running the drone UAS program for the Ranger Division is it's probably, I thought I was busy before that. It probably takes up easily 40 to 50% of my weeks nowadays. The scanners is the same thing. We have training this next week, and lining that up, lining the training up, lining the instructor up. I've got 50 UAS pilots and I've got 40 scanner operators too. They all are Rangers, right? So they all got regular jobs and regular bosses, but then under certain times they become mine. So that just making sure I take care of them and what they're trying to accomplish too, in their cases. I started teaching at the National Forensic Academy, the crime scene diagramming part in 2004, when John Martin asked me to come over and help him, who started teaching that there for him. And so I've continued since. So since 2004 to now, to almost 20 years now, I've taught at the National Forensic Academy. In fact, it'll be 20 years in January. Since teaching that for that many years, they've deemed me the SME for that. Crime scene diagramming, also with the training that we've gone through, and I've taught shooting reconstruction for the NFA. We've gone through additional training, advanced training in shooting and reconstruction also, so because of those two things, and also an SME for the shooting reconstruction portion of it too. It's hard to understand people that are outside the Rangers to understand what it's going to take from you when you're here and what it's going to take from you. And the dedication and commitment it takes for you to do this job and do it adequately and fairly for everybody involved, for the system, for the families, for the victims, for your family. You have to figure out that balance, and it's gonna take a lot from you, and hopefully you'll enjoy what you're doing.